All right, welcome back for our second and what's going to be the last feature match of Phyrexia All Be One League here in week 6. We got Spaghetti Mitch here, and it's another death match. He's up against Caleb, and we got Adam filling in, so big thanks to him for filling in here at the last minute on commentary. So what's going on over there in Caleb's hand?
Well, he's got both his colors, white and green, and a couple of duelists of Deep Faith, Hemba, and Thrun up at the 5-drop slot.
All right, so he's got some stuff to do early, and then a very, very big creature at the top of his curve. So yeah, Mitch, you could see he has the toxic deck here. Very much is what his strategy is. He's got an Incisor Glider, Stinging Hive Master, Anoint with Affliction, a Swamp, and a Kaya way up at the top of his curve. So big 7-drop there. So Duelist of Deep Faith just it's the 2-drop you never want to see on the other side of the board when you're trying to be the the attacking deck because it attacks through most of your things.
Yeah, there's another one coming too.
Yeah, I mean, this prosthetic injector didn't like. I didn't see it on the battlefield too much, you know, in the format, but it's making a difference here. It's just making it so that the Duelist of Deep Faith can't attack through this board. So Mitch has drawn another Anoint with Affliction to go with the one he already has. So he might fire one off, or he might just choose to play his Incisor Glider, which can start getting the Toxic in if he attaches his equipment to it. So see what he decides to do here. Okay. Looks like
Given
he's
that so
gonna.
much of the league is on white toxic aggro, the injector might actually be pretty good tech in this league.
Yeah, this came up in the last match. Raphael was asking me like, "What's the decks you've been seeing the most?" I said, white, black toxic, white, green toxic." As far as what we've seen in the feature matches, I mean, we've seen a few others, but this has been mostly it. And he's decided to move the prosthetic injector over to the Hive Master. That way, if there's a double block, the Anoint with Affliction will be very effective here. Get the 2-for-1.
Caleb is up to 5 lands in hand, 2 in hand and 3 on the battlefield. So Thrun will be castable on 5.
Yeah, and Thrun is just basically unkillable in by most cards. Board wipes aside, that's about it. I mean, if you have a green creature big enough to fight it, then that works too. But that won't be happening. So he needs to get his toxic in early and often, and get Caleb on the back foot here. And he's at least started to do that with the Sticking Hive Master here. So he has the choice of playing his Incisor Glider or passing with Anoint with Affliction. Looks like he's just going to anoint one of these duelists. So what are Caleb's
That was
options
another
for
land for Caleb.
this turn at least?
It's got no interaction, just a couple of other creatures that he
All
could
right.
bring out.
All right. So he.
Looks like it might be Dune Mover and Kemba.
All right. So just kind of bodies here. Kemba is a mana sink late in the game. If it goes late, it is a mana sink here. I mean, Mitch is not really equipped to deal with a board that's gone wide here. So he's drawn a land, so he can actually do the same attack as he did last turn, and he already played his Anoint with Affliction, so it's kind of you know he Caleb can't exactly play around that, but looks like he has a good attack here with the Hive Master anyway, because even if they double blocked, both creatures would die. So
It's just Thrun left over here in Caleb's hand, although Kemba can start making 2/2 cats if he needs somewhere to put the mana.
I mean, Thrun and 5 lands is a 6-card combo, right? It's just just get to that point in the game. Don't be super far behind. Don't get board wiped, basically, and you just kill your opponent with chunks of 5 damage coming at them. So he's
Especially
considering firing off
against
Anoint
the white
here.
block.
He's just gonna fire off the Anoint here. He's not even gonna offer the double block. And this Incisor Glider might be able to deal enough damage here, but again, the Thrun is gonna change the landscape of this game, and with just an Incisor Glider and a 7-drop in hand, Mitch is gonna be relying on whatever's on the top of his deck to pull him through. So Incisor Glider will be able to attack and get the trigger, but he can't really attack any of his other creatures into the throne. So he'll just have to attack with the incisor glider. Interesting attack, yeah. Was that a bluff? Well, I mean, it's a free attack anyway.
That wasn't nothing,
Yeah,
nothing to back that up. If the glider had blocked,
yeah. I mean,
Caleb had the
it's not a bluff because his creature can't die, but it's just basically it's a free attack, and Mitch decided not to block. He said this incisor glider is too valuable here, and he was probably right to see the value in that. But again, the throne changes the landscape of this game by a lot. Mitch is sitting here, and he's trading damage back and forth, and on the front foot as far as that goes. But now this changes basically everything.
Caleb has picked up a incisor glider of his own, which will be able to block the incisor glider coming from Mitch.
So he's decided to just throw his creatures into the abyss here, maybe representing a trick, because the one time that Thrun is vulnerable is on blocks if you have like a combat trick or something. Like Thrun is vulnerable. Obviously can't be targeted, but he can die while blocking. And knowing that, Mitch is sending his guys in, but also knowing how good Thrun is, and how people have to change their lines of play when he comes in. Caleb's just going to block. Yeah, he says if he has it, he has it, but I don't want to die to poison here, so he's going to make him have it. And anybody watching Mitch's streams, he just has a plains and that Kaya. So he does get two more tokens here, and Caleb is up to 6 poison, but this threat is going to kill faster. I think. Though his Caleb's draws have not been very useful, though it appears.
Just more land, this time a terramorphic expanse off the top.
Well, I guess it's the best land you can draw, I suppose. So Caleb is thinking here. I mean, I can't
Well, with the
imagine he's
glider
thinking
in
about.
hand,
Yeah, I can't imagine he's thinking about not attacking with the throne. Yep.
with the
Caleb
glider in
usually.
hand, he presumably wants to get corrupt online.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, Caleb usually comes to the right decision. I mentioned this last time he was in the feature match, but he's appeared in more feature matches than anybody at 12, and he's actually won them all, every single one. So completely incredible. So he did actually decide uh, not to attack in here. Okay, this Slaughter Singer uh, does actually allow his incisor glider to attack past Caleb's, but he doesn't have a forest, unfortunately. So that the splash is hurting here because he's drawn a green card. So based on the way the game had played out, I just assumed he was a 2-color white black deck, but now we see the Slaughter Singer that can't be cast, so he just has to pass it back, and looks like Thrun's going to pull through here.
I'm surprised we're still seeing 3-color decks this late in the league. I wouldn't have thought in a format this fast that they could survive.
Yeah, I mean, usually what we've seen at least in the later weeks is like splashing for things like Luca and like really powerful gold cards. Splashing for this 2-drop, while this Slaughter Singer would be good on this board, absolutely, like no doubt about it. Uh, it's it's not a 2-drop you're going to reliably cast on turn 2, and in a lot of games it is going to be a dead card. So it is powerful. Again, if your deck is all toxic, this is kind of like a Lord, more or less. Give everything +1/+1. But we see here, he does not have a green source. He's drawn Whisper of the Dross, so not a great draw here. I guess it gives him some attacks, but he is possibly going to be dead very soon. So yeah, he is sending everything in here. So let's see how Caleb decides to block. Yeah, once Thren starts attacking, that opens up Mitch's options as far as sending a lot of creatures in.
The Whispers will presumably put Caleb to 9 toxic here.
Yeah, and it'll kill off the incisor glider so that the attack back will not be lethal. Because with the incisor glider, it's a lethal attack back from Caleb with the pump, but it will not be here. So we're seeing Mitch make the best of a tough situation here, and he's getting him to 9 toxic. So he actually needs to draw a removal for this incisor glider or something that deals 2 extra damage, or else we're going to see Mitch take game 1 here.
No, it's a third duelist of deep faith over here.
No, that does not block Incisor Glider. So the prosthetic injector, might have actually been the MVP of this game here. This little card came out on turn 1 and just allowed Mitch to do what he needed to get around this Thrun, and perhaps Caleb not attacking with the Thrun for that one turn might have that also changes things because he would be dead this turn. So he decided to leave the Thrun back for one turn, and we see Mitch found exactly what he needed here, the Whisper of the Dross, to take out the opposing Incisor Glider and take the first game. So looking at Mitch's deck, he is splashing for the Slaughter Singer and 2 Necrogen Rot Priest. Necrogen Rot Priest probably being a bit of a stronger splash just because it can come out a bit later and it really, really changes the toxic math. Is Caleb
Yep.
looking at any sideboarding here?
No sideboarding changes.
Okay.
Caleb is running straight green white, no splashes. He's got 25 lands. He's got the ability to splash. He's got Dune Movers and 3 Terramorphic Expanses, but
Okay.
just playing green white. Curve tops out at 5, so Thrun was the biggest thing we're going to see.
Yes, he follows my saying of just because you can splash doesn't mean you should. sometimes
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's fine, but Mitch has okay fixing. He has 2 Seed Core, which allows him to cast those green creatures, 2 Terramorphic Expanse, but other than that, he's just hoping to get there. We saw he ended up winning there. That Whisper of the Dross came in at the exact right moment, and that prosthetic injector just allowed him to win on toxic damage before the Throne took him down. So scrappy way to find the win, but he got there. He hasn't changed anything yet. He is looking over some of the cards, but he hasn't made any swaps yet, and he will not. So we're off to game 2 here. So like the earlier match we had, this is also a death match. So again, both these players 15 and 10. There was like an astounding number of players at 15 and 10 coming into the week. And many of them have fallen in the past few hours. But one player here will fall, and one will continue on to try and fight their way into top 8 here. It's going to be a tight finish here for week 6. What's
This was a
Caleb's got
snap
in his hand
keep
there?
for
Yeah.
yeah, snap keep over here. It was 4 lands and 3 spells. He's picked up a fourth. He's got another duelist, another Kemba, Charge of the Mites, and Basilica Shepherd.
Okay, so you'll be able to play stuff. Yeah, so Mitch, without a 2-drop creature, just says, let's take this duelist out of commission here. It doesn't, his 3 drops don't block it well. He has a Stinging Hive Master and a Flensing Raptor, so he just says, let me make use of my mana. It's a big threat. I'm gonna lock it down. So other cards Mitch has his hand, aside from the 3 drops I mentioned, he has an Indoctrination Attendant, a Swamp, and a Whisper of the Dross. So he's going to be looking to get his toxic in early and often here. So, and could have his opponent corrupted as early as next turn.
Caleb added a Tyvar stand, so he's got a
Okay.
few more options now.
Yeah.
Looks like we're going to see Charge of the Might.
Yeah. He just has to take that out here. He doesn't want to get corrupted. We don't know if he knows exactly what's in Mitch's deck, but during sideboarding, I spotted 3 copies of the white gold rare, which was called the Vivisection Evangelist, which destroys a creature when it comes in, as long as your opponent has 3 poison. So it looks like he's drawn a tap land for the turn, so he could either play Indoctrination Attendant or Stinging Hive Master with the tap land. So we'll see what he decides to do here. Like, he has played the land, so that indicates it's going to be Indoctrination Attendant. So interesting play he could do is he could even return the planar disruption and then put it on a better creature. Yeah, it's kind of an underrated play that a lot of people don't do. A lot of people just default to bouncing their lands, but you know, I've seen many games where that actually comes back to bite them later. That they have one less land than they should at any given turn.
It looked like Mitch was considering it there. It took
Yeah.
a while to bounce that land.
So Mitch has opened up the little friend request box and typed in Tyvar, reading that priority that Caleb had with one green mana, could be, or he believes it is, Tyvar stand. So I think he's letting us know he's gonna be playing around it.
That's a correct read.
Yes, there. I don't think there's another instant for just for that you can cast for just green in the set, unless it's some very obscure card. So he's drawn a charge of the mites for turn, which he may decide to use on this angel here, particularly while Caleb is tapped out of the green that he believes represents a Tyvar stand. So if that is the case and he wants it dead, now would be the time. And that also opens him up to attack with the indoctrination. So he's deciding what to do here. Yeah, so he's just gonna get rid of this angel. He could have attacked first, entice the double block. I don't think Caleb would have taken it, but you can always give your opponent options that are going to be beneficial to you.
It looked like he was considering taking out Kemba there. Kemba hasn't done much in either game so far. Haven't seen any equipment on this side.
Yeah, it seems like in most decks that aren't red white, Kemba's a 2 mana 2/2 where you can pay 5 and make a 2/2, which is a very good card, but it's not like it's not some game breaking card. But when you were paying 5 mana to make a 2/2 and then throw an equipment on it and give it +1/+1, like that's game breaking. But he used the Whisper of the Dross here to finish off the Kemba. So what's Caleb's holding there still?
Just the
Is that
Tyvar stand in a forest.
all right? So it's gonna be a bit of a rough go here as the Stinging Hive Master comes down and threatens a lethal toxic attack next turn.
And it's another forest.
Yeah. So looks like the power of the toxic poison deck is gonna come through here and just a bit of a flooding out here for Caleb, just not having much to do. But he did block here, which is gonna which is still not going to keep Caleb alive because this token is toxic anyway. So I guess Mitch figured that. He said I might as well block. If he kills it, I get the token anyway. So kind of another quick match like we've gotten used to here in some of our future matches in this league particularly. But congratulations to Mitch for staying alive and breaking Caleb's undefeated streak in them feature matches. So thanks to both players, and we'll be back hopefully for the top 8 whenever that takes place.